All right, this is One Last Midnight. Welcome back to another episode of Graveyard Keeper. Now, it's been a long time since I played this game. I did try it out when it first came out 4 years ago. And you know what, to be honest with you, I really couldn't get into it. I don't know why. I think, honestly, it kind of started off a little bit slow, and I couldn't get into the slowness of it when it first started. Well, you know, that was my fault because I really didn't give it the appreciation that Graveyard Keeper needed. So, if you don't know the story of Graveyard Keeper, you are a guy that gets somehow teleported into this world, and a talking skull comes up to you and tells you you need to start taking care of the graveyard, and you're the new gravekeeper. The graveyard is kind of in a bad state to begin with, and you have to work your way to get the graveyard up to a pretty much decent state. My quality is 41 right now. It's not super high, but it's better than when it started. Along the way, as you increase the quality of your graveyard, you get responsibilities. You become the preacher of the church, and you'll be able to enter into the church, and on every one of, I don't know, whatever that day is in the upper left-hand corner, that little purple star looking thing, you can give a sermon, and the sermon will then generate what's called faith, and it'll also give you money. Money's useful because you can go into town, you can buy things, and it's also needed to purchase special certificates for you to be able to, I don't know, expand your graveyard or be able to sell meat in town. There's a pretty decent farming system in the game. You can choose many various different seeds to farm. You've got pumpkins, onions, beets. You've also got hemp that you can grow, carrots, cabbage, and there's something else like lentils or something. I'm missing something. There's also stuff where you can grow hops and grapes to make beer and wine. And there's compost area where you can then fertilize your land to be able to make it more productive. Here's some examples of some of the things that you can, building stations that you could put down. Like you can put down a stone cutting station. You've got a furnace to process. This is the carpentry workbench to do wood related stuff. This is the furnace to do metal related items. And then you can also use the anvil to produce weapons, nails, some basic building stuff that you need, like nails and iron and stuff like that. And then if you see my little guy running around here, you can also turn these bodies into zombies. So there's some level of automation that's happening. And like I said, when I first played the game, I really didn't give the game its due. I thought, you know, I said I don't know why I stopped. I think I stopped because I felt that it was running a little bit slow. The game started off a little bit slow, and I didn't give it the opportunity that I really needed to give it. And that's ultimately what it is I didn't give it the time and invest energy into putting the hours into the game to be able to progress the story far enough that it got interesting. So I did. I took the time and decided to do that. I don't know why. I think I was bored or something, and decided to try the game again. And man, did I get into the game. I think this game doesn't get enough credit, to be honest with you. It is highly in-depth, and there's a lot of things that you can do to progress in the game. Everything it's very Stardew Valley-ish. If you've ever played Stardew Valley, you have this as kind of your stamina, and you can only do as much work as you have stamina for before you have to sleep and regenerate your stamina. You can regenerate your stamina by eating foods. So building or getting involved in cooking quickly will help you extend the amount of work that you can do during the day. And maybe that was something that I didn't get involved in early enough because I didn't feel like I was able to do as much as I wanted to do during, and I was always having to sleep. And yeah, it felt like I wasn't moving very quickly in the game. The technology tree is extremely large. As you can see, you have these points that you can use and assign into different technologies. You have various different technology skill sets, like here's anatomy and alchemy. You've got theology, which is all church related stuff, and also the graveyard. You've got book writing, where you're going to need books in order to produce things like prayers and stuff like that. You've got the whole farming and nature section, which is huge. You've got smithing, building, and you've got food. And you can see I've played this game for like 60 hours, and I still have areas that have question marks, that things that I just have not discovered yet. And that's going to happen because, like I said, it's pretty in-depth. There's several different stories that are happening along the way. You've got to help Snake out, and Snake winds up sending you to the astrologer and meeting various other people. There's Gary, who's the talking skull, is the first guy that you wind up meeting, and he's got a whole storyline that walks you through. You've got the merchant that has a whole sub-storyline, and the bishop who has a sub-storyline. You also have the stinky donkey who brings the bodies to you, has a whole storyline. And he's got something going on with the donkey revolution. It's kind of weird. Like I said, there's a lot of people that you can meet and do their stories. There's a lot of things that you can do in the game that you initially don't know about. Like all these little blue plaques here wind up giving you things that you can build. And they're all over the place. And as you progress through the game and you start unlocking various things, we're going to make a zombie guy here because I need another helper. You have to build up areas like the church, for example. Once the church unlocks, you get access to the top level of the church, and you have to make the church to a certain quality first before you can actually go down into the basement. But the church has a bunch of stuff that you have to build up, and you have to build, you know, there's nothing in here, and so you have to build up pews, and you have to build up candelabras and other various things in order to get your quality up. And this is a low quality; it's not even that high yet. And you progress through the game as you unlock technology. You're progressing through the game, and you're unlocking better things like a soft church bench. Right now, I just have church bench that gives me +3 instead of +1 with the regular bench. But able to make the soft church bench, you're going to need to get silk, and you're going to need to make the joining, and those are different technologies, different technology lines. So there's some incredible amount of depth, like I said. And, you know, once you unlock the basement, then again, the basement, you've got a whole area you've got to do. This whole underneath section is connected all the way into the town, and gives you kind of, I would say not a quick way, but gives you a way to be able to traverse around instead of having to go upstairs and through the main town area. It's a little bit faster. The downstairs basement of your house allows you to build brewing when you get into brewing, and it's probably winemaking when you get into winemaking. I'm just going to put this guy on the furnace. I think I can place him here. Can't place him here. I can place him here. Yeah, I can put him here. Okay. So the zombies can be assigned to various different areas, and they can work things. Like if I say, hey, I want you to make, you know, these boards, and he'll go ahead and he'll craft the boards for me. And the way that he works is he's got 8% efficiency because he only has 3 white skulls, where this guy has 12% efficiency because he has 5 white skulls. There is a way to get skulls up higher and higher. Eventually, if you have the DLCs and stuff, you can unlock your own bar where you can make money for selling beer and food, and you have reputation. I've already taken the money out of this place, but this is a whole storyline to get this unlocked. Once you get that unlocked, then you have, you know, that whole section that you can work. Money is a little bit difficult in the beginning, but once you get over the hurdle of starting to make money, farming is a good way to make money. You can sell off your goods, or you can cook the items and sell them off at the tavern. The vegetables can be sold off at the farmer. There's a whole merchant thing, which I just recently unlocked, which is, you can see this area doesn't have really anything. I did make a little bit of money because I sold some carrots and some other things that were in here. But, I mean, I've got a whole section of stuff that I need to build in this area. I haven't even started this. and I can start, building this area up so I can start selling some of my foods and stuff here, which will make me more money than doing it at home. The whole goal of the game is to find your way home. You're trying to find your way back to Earth or wherever you're at. I'm assuming Earth. We got teleported into some different plane of existence or something, and you're trying to figure out that mystery. You're going through. You're talking to people. You're doing the quests, and in the meantime, you're building and you're trying to unlock the whole area. This section down here, I still can't get in here. Last time I went through here, I died. And dying is nothing. You resurrect back at your house again, but it's kind of like, it's just a little starting over thing. So, like I said, I've been playing this on the sly for a while. I haven't been doing videos on it because it's one of those games that is so hard to kind of document playing it because it takes so long to do, one thing. To get up to zombies, you've got to go through a whole series and slew of stuff. But once you get the zombies, then they're working for you. They're delivering stone, or they're delivering wood, or they're delivering iron, which will allow you to produce your nails and all that stuff to be able to build in all these various areas. So it's like I said, it's really hard to try to document how the progression of the game. But it sucked me in. I now have Graveyard Keeper fever. It is a really good game. It's just, and for the dollar value, I'm pretty impressed for the dollar value. So if you guys are interested in getting it, the price isn't too bad. Base game is like 19 bucks or something like that. And then if you want to get all the DLCs, I think the total is like $50 something. That's not in a sale time, but wait for a sale because the game's been out 4 years, and when they do go to a sale, it's pretty inexpensive to purchase the game. Well, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Would love to have you in the community. If you want to follow me on any of my social media, you can find links in the description below, and make sure to hit that notification bell. That way you know when I go live and when I post new videos. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.